Thank you very much.
Welcome everyone to our Senior Readers Theater production sponsored through Western Michigan University's Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, which we call OLLI for short. OLLI members are 50 and older, but are never too old to continue learning or teaching. Our Readers Theater is the first of its kind among the 125 OLLIs throughout the 50 states, and has received international recognition within the organization. It was developed as an intergenerational teaching tool to help students in the healthcare professions better understanding issues their elderly patients may face as they age. Our audiences have expanded to include other professions who work with the elderly, as well as those who live in senior residences and who need to know that they aren't alone in the changes happening to them. If you've never seen a Readers Theater, let me prepare you a little bit. First of all, the actors read from the script. No memorization of lines. Instead of moving around the stage a lot, the actors use their voices to impart meaning, whether it be comedic or dramatic. Their actions on stage are limited, but so is the setting itself, often to just some chairs. In this play, you, the audience, represent the television on which a group of old friends are watching the game show Jeopardy. They gather once a month for dinner and bring a dish to pass. Thus, the title of our play is Jeopardy Potluck. The topic we tackle today is age-related forgetfulness. This isn't aphasia or a form of dementia or even mild cognitive impairment. But we all forget the word we want to use from time to time. As we age, our inability to come up with the word grows more and more frequent. It's a normal process, one which we have already experienced if you are 50 or older, like many of us performing today. Our purpose is to illustrate that forgetting words doesn't mean that the elderly person is unintelligent or demented, so take it in. Even if you cannot relate, we hope will give you a better understanding of and sympathy for the aging process.
This is delicious. What is it?
Goulash.
This goulash is delicious. Who brought it?
I did. It's my Hungarian grandmother's recipe and uses a secret ingredient.
What's the secret ingredient?
I know. He shared it with me a few years back. My grandkids love it.
Come on, tell us. I never really had goulash growing up because my mother used, what is that soup with the red label?
Campbell soup?
Yeah, that's it. Campbell's tomato soup.
Tomato soup? That makes me sad. Okay, the secret ingredient is that red powder. You know, in Hungary, they sun dry it and don't smoke it. It's called Hungarian paprika. Well, everyone, as the Hungarians say, you eat the gut.
What? We're eating the gut?
No, you eat the gut. It means enjoy your meal in Hungarian. I'm surprised I even remembered it.
This 7-layer salad is delicious. What are the 7 layers? I'm forgetting they're all mixed together now.
Let's see. There's lettuce, of course, layered with boiled eggs, shredded cheddar, pea, onions, and tomato. That's only 6 layers.
I see celery, black olives, and then there's the actual mayonnaise dressing that you found that is it.
Okay, so I made a 9-layer salad. Any complaints?
Well, hurry up up and chow down. Jeopardy is about to begin. When you think of what's his name, took over for, what's his name? Oh, geez, and I love that guy. What is his name?
You mean
Third.
no, the Canadian. Died of cancer.
Trebek. I miss him. I love the way he put accents on foreign words like you'll eat bagat. What is the name of that guy who replaced him?
Ken Jennings, he has an IQ of 175.
I may have forgotten I ate last night, but I remember how Ken Jennings ended his winning streak of 74 straight games with the wrong question to the answer. The answer was, most of this firm's 70,000 white-collar employees work only 4 months a year. That's easy. What's H&R Block? So what was Ken Jennings' question? What is FedEx? Even I got it right, and my IQ isn't even close to 175.
Ain't that the truth? Now what channel is it?
You ask us every week.
Channel 8.
Ah, sheesh. Another ad for adult diapers. That's 2 in a row. What does it matter that they come in colors forbidden? No one will ever see them. Oh, glad of the weekend. Is there any topic they don't cover in ads?
The ads are geared to the age levels watching Jeopardy at 7:30. We fit their demographics, so there will be ads for heartburn, gas, incontinence.
Don't forget the big one, erectile dysfunction.
That one is long forgotten. I can't remember the last time I saw a big one.
You can't remember your own name half the time.
Oh, here comes the first answer. Listen up. Here's the answer. He is the charming blue monster on Sesame Street.
Who is Grover Cleveland?
Oh, last time I looked, a puppet never served as president.
Ah, here's the next category. Entertainers.
Who is Harry Styles?
Never heard of him. He never died. Is he one of those hip-hoppers?
Oh, jeez. Here's the ad with the football player again. Tim. Terry. Todd. Come on. Big Bo, he played quarterback for the Jets.
Joe!
Don't they think we won't remember these Medicare Advantage ads, so they run them every 10 minutes? Do they think we're senile or something?
Oh, they're not asked questions to which the answers are offensive. Well, let's face it, our balls are all jimmy.
Speak for yourself. I keep sharp by reading, doing the daily Wordle and putting together a puzzle. You have to do mental gymnastics at this age to keep the brain healthy.
I make lists as I think of things. I have lists for groceries, hardware, lawn care, home repair. You name it, I have lists. Now, if I can just find them.
Here comes the next category, alliteration.
What's alliteration? The alliterative quality that is the reason that once you learn to write it right, you'll never forget. Mental memory!
Oh, muscle memory.
Oh, it's a daily double. I would bet a whole lot if I was playing for real.
Who would have guessed? And you would have bet your whole lot. Maybe Jeopardy isn't our game. How about next time we get a half hour earlier and play that game with the big roulette table? You are referring to Wheel of Fortune. It's an okay game, but not as cerebral as Jeopardy. Besides, those hosts are getting long in the tooth.
Oh, what do you think we are if not long in the tooth? Matter of fact, Alex Trebek was older than most of us when he died. He was 80 and still on top of his game, figuratively speaking, that is. Now here's something cerebral for you, a riddle. Besides breathing, what is everybody doing at the same time?
We're all trying to play Jeopardy. We failed miserably, by the way. I don't know about Wheel of Fortune. I'm not all that sold on the new host. What's his name? Ryan Seymour took over for Pat Hijack. He retired for 43 years.
It's Ryan Seacrest. I'm saying. And what's her name? Stayed on and signed up for another couple of years. She looks mighty young from a distance.
Oh, her name has become a household word. She is a testament against female ageism. I don't care if it's a facelift or Botox or rhinoplasty. She doesn't grow so tight that her face looks like an industrial vacuum sucked her a whole head.
We boomers have stayed on too long in the workplace. She needs to retire too and give no talent a chance.
Okay. Here comes Double Jeopardy round. Oh, look at those. Adam.
Before and after, world geography, Shakespeare, physics, word origins, and finally, classical music. Yikes.
Before and after. Here's the answer. Artistic left bank region of Paris. That's a meaty McDonald's burger.
I know! What's a lamb quarter pounder? Ooh. I know my French and my burgers.
Next category, world geography. The number of states that have a Great Lakes shoreline.
Hey, I would have gotten it wrong. Me too. I forgot about New York, and especially Pennsylvania.
I grew up in Pennsylvania. It only has 77 miles of shoreline on Lake Erie. I would have gotten it right if I couldn't come in faster than they answered.
Okay, the answer on.
I wonder if those pills can really stop memory loss. They say its main ingredient comes from jellyfish. Doesn't that sound like snake oil sales trap? I bought a bottle and it wasn't cheap. The label says, healthy brain function, sharper mind, clearer thinking. It took for a month and my kids didn't see any improvement. I still called Randy Bill and Bill Randy. But they get a little perturbed when I call the dog either Bill or Randy.
I wrote through the names of all my 5 kids, 2 cats, and the dog before I find the right one.
Ah, the brain. The last frontier of the human body that remains a mystery. I can't imagine that any pill can restore a 75-year-old brain to its former intellectual acuity.
Even Ken Jennings could not achieve the highest possible score in Jeopardy. And there are a few who have his intellectual acuity, as you put it. If he had gotten all the questions right in any single game, he would have won $566,400. That's the highest achievable score.
Wow! What could I do with winnings like that? That's most I ever want was $400 at the casino. Hey, look, the answer gun and it's final Jeopardy. Is everyone watching?
not sure where Kirsten is.
We need something uplifting. I read this the other day. Just a minute, I wrote it down on her with you. Age is simply the number of years the world has been enjoying you. Who said that? It was anonymous.
Well, that's how the world treats us, as if we were anonymous. Out of sight, out of mind.
Oh, come now. You have a lovely apartment and many friends at Story Point.
Oh, but that's the thing about retirement communities. We don't have the benefit of youthful points of view. What prevents you from going out into the community to volunteer? After the pandemic, I started working twice a week at the lunchroom where my grandson attends elementary school. I sit at the entry and check off names, but I get to say hi to all the kids. They know me now, so when I see them outside school, they greet me. Volunteering is all well and good, but some of us still fear exposure to the virus. It used to be that elders would live with their families, and their children would take care of them. My granddad used to live with us. I was only 8 when he died, but I remember the stories he told.
Those stories your granddad told you, that's how oral history used to be passed from one generation to the next. I remember my Hungarian grandmother's stories better than any I've heard recently.
Well, nowadays, grandparents have taken a back seat to technological entertainment. Kids are so electronically tethered that they miss out on face-to-face conversations with us. No one answered my riddle. What is everybody doing at the same time besides read?
I give up, as do we all.
Growing older and wiser.
And on that happy note, people, this has been fun as usual, but it's time to leave. How about next month at my place? Who wants to stick with Jeopardy rather than Wheel of Fortune? Raise your hand.
Jeopardy leads us to some good conversations. I'm not sure Wheel of Fortune would do the same. See you next month. Bye-bye. Will you bring the...
Goulash! If I haven't run out of Hungarian paprika.
I guess serving up questions in Jeopardy or coming up with what you want to say is kind of like a potluck. You never know what people are going to bring to the table.
Let's give our actors a round of applause. I hope you enjoyed the play and helped you reflect on the instinctual process of aging. We'll take a moment now to set the scene for the next play.
In our second play, entitled Euchred By Years, What is Successful Aging?, a group of 8 friends get together to play euchre once a week. It will soon become clear that playing cards is second to conversation. The play begins just as the 2 teams in this group are finishing up their last round of euchre. The players in the other group have already completed the last round and are waiting to see who wins the last trip.
Euchred again? We won!
I thought for sure you had both powers.
I thought you had the laptop.
Ha! I had it all along. You guys took long enough to finish off that last round.
Yeah, it'll be my bedtime pretty soon.
You grow older every minute.
Well, you can't tell us that your bedtime is 7:30 on Euchred night.
We haven't even dug into the snacks or wine.
Stay a while and talk. How's that grandson of yours?
And he'll have a cast on his arm for a few weeks. but he went back to preschool yesterday. As he was going out the door, I told him to have a good time, and he turned around. I could see he was struggling to come up with something polite to say. And finally he said, "And you have a good time just sitting there, Grandma."
Now, what must young people think we do all day?
If they think of us at all,
I read that there are more people on Earth over the age of 65 than under 5. In other words, how can they not think of us?
But young market researchers are definitely thinking of us. Not only do they think of us, they found ways to capitalize on us. Age is selling big. Everywhere you look.
That's right. Look at all the books that are being written about aging and old age. I was scanning the nonfiction section of Barnes & Noble yesterday, and the selection of growing old has expanded across 2 shelves. I've read a lot of them, trying to accept the fact that I'm aging quickly. Most of them paint this rosy picture about growing older, and their titles say it all. This Chair Rocks, a manifesto against aging. Better with Age, the psychology of successful aging. Ageless, the new science of getting older without getting old. I could go on. One author suggests that we change the nomenclature of elders and seniors to olders, arguing that the change would abolish stereotypes. Either way, not aging has become the new fad.
If, as those titles suggest, we have to work harder at acting younger, maybe we should all take up pickleball instead of euchre.
One of my girlfriends went on a senior dating study and discovered that all of the over 70 men claim to play pickleball, kayak, bike, and run marathons, as if those feats are somehow impressive to a woman looking for a more cerebral connection at our age.
Well, maybe they're trying to impress younger women. You know, seeking a trophy bride who will take care of them as they become more feeble. Nevertheless, they have obviously embellished their profiles. It's a fact that 2/3 of us on Medicare have more than one chronic ailment. So it's hard to believe that the remaining 1/3 are all men in perfect health who play pickleball without getting sprained ankles, shin splints, or knee injuries.
our local senior center now offers classes like pickleball injury prevention, pickleball injury recovery. The first and last time I played pickleball, I could barely move the next day. Every joint ached. My daughter bought me some CBD gummies. Normally I never touch the stuff, but the bottle said with just 1 gummy a day, inflammation plummets, mobility improves, and cartilage is boosted in between bones.
Well, judging from the way you still hobble around, I won't ask if the gummies work. Seriously, are there any books that prepare you for growing old? No one tells you that your hearing dulls, your bones erode, your bladder leaks, your bowels constrict, and your heart skips a beat. Not in a good way. Now, what is successful aging?
There is no such thing. I wake up and take 5 pills with my coffee, 3 with my afternoon snack, and 2 more before bedtime, not including vitamins. Can anyone here say they don't take pills? You can't watch TV without being pummeled by medical ads. We are the largest demographic watching television nowadays, and all of those ads are targeting us. They terrify me. An ad for one of the pills I take states, "This drug may make you feel dizzy, faint, or lightheaded when you stand up." I'm thankful that I'm still upright.
Well, standing up at our age is optional.
Or how about the one that says side effects may include kidney problems, genital yeast infections, urinary tract infections.
Don't forget, may cause cancer, including lymphoma, and new or worsening heart failure. It's amazing we haven't been killed off by the cure.
What gets me are the musical extravaganzas with dance routines, like the Jardians ads, in which everyone is kicking up their heels over a diabetes drug.
And the names they come up with, Skyrizi, Ozempic, Humira, they sound like foreign languages. I have to keep a list of my medications in my wallet because I can never remember their names, let alone how to pronounce them.
But surely you remember Cialis and Viagra. I'll never forget when those erectile dysfunction ads first came out. We were babysitting our granddaughters, who were 8 and 10 at the time.
We let them stay up into primetime TV viewing. Big mistake.
But we were watching The Simpsons when the show switched to a Viagra ad. It showed a euphoric middle-aged man running down the street, his arms up in the air. He'd pass an elderly gentleman coming out onto his porch with a hugely satisfied grin. And an obese man was happily hip-bumping while washing his car. And finally, a mailman pirouetted and threw letters up into the air. All of this to the tune of, "We are the champions." I was playing that ad. Two young observant girls could ask why the men were champions.
So what did you tell them?
I'd go and ask their parents.
I heard late Rodney Dangerfield philosophy. He said, I'm at an age where food has overtaken the place of sex in my life. In fact, I've just had a mirror put over the kitchen table.
We had a mirror over our bed on our honeymoon in the Poconos. Remember that, Money?
Too much information.
That was one time I didn't mind the mirror. But this morning, I accidentally caught sight of myself in the bathroom mirror. The person staring back at me was so disconcerting. Were those new wrinkles, or had they been there? Does successful aging mean not recognizing myself in the mirror? If so, I'm growing old and don't know it.
My reflection shakes me to the core. Self-image is how we see ourselves interacting with the world around us. I see myself walking with determination instead of shuffling, but I caught my reflection in a store window the other day and wondered who that old woman was. She stopped and stared at me in surprise before I even realized that I too had stopped.
Our appearances mask who we are. I figure I must look really old, even though my mind's eye sees me 20 years younger. I guess there are some perks to looking old. You find out that complete strangers are actually nice. For instance, a young man stood up and gave me a seat on the bus. A teenager held the door for me. A cafeteria worker offered to carry my tray for me in the hospital cafeteria.
What were you doing in the hospital cafeteria?
My sister fell and broke her hip. I was waiting for her to come out of surgery. Falling is one of my great fears.
And when I was younger, I used to laugh at the ad. Help! I've fallen and I can't get up. I didn't exactly fall, but one morning when the bathroom sink slowly drained, I knew I couldn't put off cleaning out the trap under the vanity any longer. That was the easy part, but getting it back up again was an ordeal. I had to plan each move, scooting over to the tub on my backside, bracing on it to hoist myself onto one knee, And then the other that took all my strength to stand.
Well, as the saying goes, courage is knowing that it will hurt, but doing it anyway.
I've always been able to catch myself from falling until last winter. I was heading down to the pole barn when suddenly my leg shot out and my head bounced off the hard packed snow. I laid there for a minute taking inventory, only later did I realize I had a mild concussion.
You were lucky that you didn't break a bone. What if you had been way out in the field? I keep telling you to order one of those medical alert necklaces.
Well, their ads say they save a life every 11 minutes.
I'll just carry myself.
Oh, sure, right. You're lying on your back, your phone is in your back pocket, where you always carry it. How can you easily reach it? Successful aging means that you have to survive the next one. Those necklaces can detect a fall. So if you're unconscious, help is still at hand. Get a necklace.
Okay, I'll look into it.
And this is what we call the golden age. To even reach the golden age, we have to proceed with caution. Instead of our usual stride, we now shuffle. Instead of taking the stairs in bounds, it's now up with the good leg, down with the bad. We have to be conscious of every step.
Well, even getting dressed can be dangerous. I fell over, pulling on my pants. Now I sit down. But even then, I have to grunt, groan, and bend at such an angle that this morning, my wife took pity on me and held my pant leg open.
I know what you mean. The other day, putting on my coat, I strained the shoulder muscle, trying to find the second sleeve that had disappeared somewhere behind me. I was chasing myself in a circle, trying to find it.
Even normal bodily functions can cause damage. I've got a leg cramp sleeping, tweaked my neck sneezing, and sprained a chest muscle coughing. I am afraid to eat certain foods for fear that I am one explosive fart away from complete paralysis.
You are falling apart, man. Come on, people. Rather than Euchred nights, we should call these get-togethers Oregon recitals. Because that's all we do is complain about our failing organs and muscles. We need to take a new tack and list all the good reasons that we are living in the golden age.
Okay, I'll start. We live in the golden age because our time is finally our own. I can meet friends for lunch, take golf lessons, go fishing for bluegill on Long Lake, or puss around in my workshop. I fill my time at my own pleasure and not someone else's. Oh, I just wish I had the body of my 20-year-old self because I could rule the world with a pickle.
I used to look at my little ones and wonder what they would be like as adults. My golden age has allowed me to see the outcome of my parenting when I observed my adult children. And now, through their children, I relive the wonders of childhood, watching their discoveries of the world around them.
We live in the golden age because no one will bother us if we sit and do nothing but enjoy the sun on our faces, or the first snowflakes on our cheeks, or the breeze standing our door.
But how are those things successful aging?
Mother Nature is a powerful metaphor for understanding the seasons of our lives. A day doesn't go by that I don't contemplate successful aging to its conclusion and prepare myself.
Well, for me, the golden age means that I have the benefit of review. As I look back, I can see how my spontaneity, my choices have hurt people, but other times it's helped people. But I'm finally gaining some objectivity about patterns of behavior that have made me who I am today. And I guess that's how we gain wisdom, from a distance. And with wisdom, we gain closure.
I don't feel particularly wise, but I would never want to be young again. My biggest thrill was qualifying for senior discounts in Medicare. This so-called golden age is no better or no worse than any other age I've gone through. It's more challenging physically, but less challenging financially. So it's a trade-off. I may be happier and more secure now at old age than I was in my 20s or 30s, but I sure feel a lot worse. I'm aging successfully between happiness and pain.
For me, it's the golden age because we are rich. Our goal is our investment in family, friends, and fun. If we have lived well, we have accrued a wealth of relationships while having fun along the way. The 3 F's: family, friends, and fun.
My first spouse died at age 50 and never reaped the harvest of the golden age. And that's the way I look at it, a harvest of all one's accomplishments as well as failures. A kind of reckoning. As you look back, are you content with the story of your life? Or do you feel that you need to give back or make atonement? Long life is a gift, not to be squandered. Living long means that you come to know when you have lived long enough.
I'm still working out what the golden age means to me. And the final analysis is like the game of euchre that we played tonight. We're dealt a hand, and if the cards fall away, we take some tricks along the way. We may not always come out a winner, but we play our best, and that's all we can ask of ourselves. Well, maybe I can answer my own question after all. What is successful aging? Navigating the golden age is like euchre. Success is dependent partly on skill and partly on luck.
Maybe we should all collaborate, write our own book on aging. We could entitle it Euchred By Years.
Well, I've got a better title. How about The Last Trip?
What do you think? Think about it.
Thank you for joining us today. We'd also like to thank our cast and other members of OLLI's Readers Theater. I'd like to acknowledge our director, Dr. D. Terry Williams, and our stage manager, Sharon Wade, and our playwright, Kelly O'Leary. Thanks also go to Hope Friendship Village and Western Michigan University. When Bernard and Barbara Osher founded OLLI, they wanted to help the nation's institutions of higher education provide intellectually stimulating programs for retired or semi-retired individuals. They believed that successful aging meant that we never stopped learning because entertaining new ideas and acquiring knowledge keeps us young. Everyone has their own definition of what successful aging means and how best to navigate these years with grace and fortitude. In my experience, learning new things and socializing are important to successful aging. I joined Osher Lifelong Learning because there are so many classes in a variety of subjects. For example, one can take a bird watching class or learn Tai Chi. OLLI also hosts social hours so you can meet new people and catch up with those you may only see from time to time. I've made a number of new friends from different walks of life. If you'd like to receive more information about OLLI, we have brochures near the exit. Now I'd like to open the floor and hear your comments. To facilitate the discussion, I'd like to ask Dr. D. Terry Williams, our director, to take the floor.
I'm Terry Williams. I recognize a lot of faces in the audience. Thank you for being here today. It's been a great audience. You got with humor. which I think is essential, but I think it's important to recognize we couldn't do what we do without a good script. So I want to recognize our playwright. Where's Kelly? Back there. So I'm eager, the cast is eager to hear your comments. Did you relate to either of the plays? I mean, not that anybody in here from the first play would have any memory issues. Remember every single name of everybody, my wife and I, last night. I said, that's Jamie Lee Curtis. She said, no, it's not. We were watching The Bear. And she said, that's not Jamie Lee Curtis. I said, it is Jamie Lee Curtis. And she said, no, it's what's her name? And for the first time in our 55 years of marriage, she was wrong. And I was right. That's a first. I'm so proud of myself. Anyway, what would you, concerning the first play, what resonated with you?